What's up? How's it going? Just making sure everything is working before I get started. Back with more drink reviews. Still have a few more besides these ones. And that looks good. So the way that I do these, this is a multicast live stream. I'm going to review each one, do my little presentation, and then I'll see if anyone said anything and respond at that point. Yeah. So today we've got Yerbae Classic Lemonade and Simply Pop Citrus Punch. I think I'll start with the Simply Pop. Yeah. Let's take a look at the Simply Pop Citrus Punch Prebiotic Soda. It says with real fruit juice. And this is 12 fluid ounce, 355 milliliters. Like orange, so cool can. Let's take a look at the nutrition facts. 30%, 30% juice, 60 calories, 25 milligrams of sodium, 19 total carbohydrates, 6 grams of dietary fiber, 10 grams of total sugars, 0 grams of protein. It does have potassium, 100 milligrams, vitamin C, and zinc. And those are in percentages, not actual amounts on the can. I'll show it close up in a second here. Ingredients, we've got carbonated water, pear, apple, clarified peach, orange, and lemon juices from concentrate, soluble corn fiber, and then 0.5% of monk fruit extract, which is a sugar alternative, low calorie sweetener, one of the quote unquote natural ones. Vitamin C, zinc, gluconate, natural flavors, and beta carotene. I would assume the beta carotene is for color, but it doesn't say that. That generally comes from carrots and things like that, I think. And then this is produced for Simply Orange Juice Company in Apopka, Florida. Yeah. I've said that multiple times already because I've reviewed multiple of these, but I still struggle out with it. Anyways, there it is. Simply Pop Citrus Punch. This is naturally flavored with other natural flavors. Flavor that pops. 12 fluid ounce, 355 milliliters. With real fruit juice. And there's also some marketing material on the side here. So 6 grams prebiotic fiber. No added sugar. Sweetened with juices and monk fruit extract. And then supports immune health according to them. Zinc and vitamin C. 30% juice, 60 calories, 25 milligrams of sodium, 6 grams of that dietary fiber. That's the corn. And 10 grams total sugars. And we've got our potassium, zinc, and vitamin C. And then we've got our ingredients: carbonated water, pear, apple, clarified peach, orange, and lemon juices from concentrate. That's soluble corn fiber. And then we've got the monk fruit extract, the vitamins, natural flavors, beta carotene. Yeah. I think we're good on that. There's a little thing here, non-GMO project verified. Cool. Let's open this up. I'm going to use this glass. It's probably good. Yeah, it does have somewhat of a yellow color to it. I assume that's the beta carotene and the juices mixed together. Looks good. See the carbonation. Yeah, very nice. Do a smell test. I can already smell it. It does have an orange juice, like a, not specifically an orange juice, but those juices that have a mix of orange plus other things. That's kind of what it smells like. So, it smells good. I like it. Very fruity. So there it is. I'm going to try from the can first. Yeah, these have relatively minimal carbonation. So even from the can, it just doesn't have a huge amount. So if you're big on carbonated drinks, like highly carbonated drinks, this is probably not your thing, but I think it's okay. Let's try it out. The orange is definitely noticeable. There's some of the lemon, so it's got the tartness to it. It's fairly sweet, not extremely sweet, obviously, with only 10 grams of total sugars for the 12 ounce. The carbonation here is still noticeable at the very least, but it's not too much. I think it's a good description where it says citrus punch because I do notice the orange, but there's more going on. It's got that lemon. It does say clarified peach, apple, and pear juice. But yeah, citrus, just generic citrus makes sense to call it that rather than orange juice. I feel like this level of sweetness is very nice to me personally because it's not super sweet. I don't go out of my way to drink orange juice because it's way too sweet, in my opinion, tasting. So something like this actually is a nice alternative to that. I do like the carbonation, even though it's fairly minimal. I don't really notice much of the monk fruit extract, maybe just a slight aftertaste of the monk fruit, which isn't like the best flavor ever, but it's not super noticeable because monk fruit has a distinct flavor usually. But I think it works. I think it's okay. Yeah. What else can I say about it? Mm. So pretty much, I would look at it as in the direction of orange, but general citrus, fairly minimal carbonation. I think it tastes nice. It's decently sweet for what it is. Yeah, I like it. So that is the Simply Pop Citrus Punch Prebiotic Soda. It's got that 6 grams of dietary fiber in it and a fairly sweet, somewhat minimal carbonation drink. I like it. Yeah. Okay, next. We'll drink some water after that. Next up, Yerbae plant-based energy in classic lemonade. This is 16 fluid ounce, 473 milliliters, 160 milligrams of caffeine. It says naturally sweetened. All right, let's take a look at the nutrition facts. 0 calories, 10 milligrams of sodium, 0 total sugars, 0 grams protein. And then we've got, for the ingredients, carbonated water, citric acid, natural flavors, proprietary blend of yerba mate, white tea, and caffeine. And then it is sweetened with stevia leaf extract. Also has sea salt. And then this is made in Scottsdale, Arizona. I've been there quite a few times. Some of my family is down there. It says energized by yerba mate and white tea. Yeah, we'll do a close up here. I'm gonna wipe this can off so I can actually show things. It's been sitting a while. Oops, there we go. Yerbae. Plant-based energy, classic lemonade, 160 milligrams caffeine, 16 fluid ounce, 473 milliliters. We've got our nutrition facts. Say 100% committed to zero. So 0 calories, 10 milligrams of sodium. Is that supposed to be 0 as well? I don't know. 0 grams total sugars, 0 grams of protein. And there's the ingredients: carbonated water, citric acid, natural flavors, proprietary blend of yerba mate, white tea, caffeine, then the stevia leaf extract, which is a low calorie, or in this case, 0 calorie sweetener alternative to sugar. It's one of the quote unquote healthier, newer ones. And then sea salt. You can see it's made in Scottsdale, Arizona. And they've got some marketing material on the side here. It says, what does classic lemonade energy feel like? It's like life gave you lemons, but you turn them into the most delicious lemonade packed with energy and no sugar. Okay. And there's some little icons here. Keto friendly, non GMO, gluten free. And they say 160 milligrams caffeine equals around 2 cups of coffee. Yeah. So there's that. Let's try it out. Ooh. This one fizzed quite a bit. That's why I use the napkins on it when I do that. So we got a different cup for this one. I think that's probably good. There it is. It's got a very slight, it's not perfectly clear. There is a bit of a very slight yellow from what I can tell. Look to it. Yeah. This glass isn't great for close-ups, but it works okay. And it saves me from having to try to clean the 2 cups. So I can see the carbonation, but it's small bubbles. It's kind of interesting. Let's do a smell test. Yeah, it does have a lemony smell. It's not super strong, although there is no fruit juice in here. So, whatever naturally flavored means. Anyways, actually, let me try it from the can first, just in case. Yeah, there's a good amount of carbonation. All right. Again, this is the Yerbae Classic Lemonade. Let's try it out. Yeah, I noticed the stevia as a distinct flavor. There's some sourness, but it's not super strong. And then I taste the stevia, which adds a unusual bitterness to the drink. But actually, it could also be the Yerbae or the yerba mate. Yeah, the yerba mate and white tea. So not the white tea, but the yerba mate might have. I'm not super familiar with the flavor of it. It might be part of the reason that it's bitter. I don't mind the flavor and the sweetness, obviously, just from the stevia. It's very different than any sort of regular sugar taste. Yeah. The flavor in general isn't super strong, which is fine. Depends on personal preference. Hmm. Not sure how I feel about this one. I do have somewhat of an aftertaste in my mouth from it. Like I said, I don't know if it's the stevia or the yerba mate. Yeah, the yerba mate. Yerbamate. Let's try from the can again. Actually, I think it's nicer from the can because the added carbonation that's still in there kind of levels out some of the flavors a little bit. But you could, of course, have it in a glass with ice if you like that. Although, obviously, you lose a lot of carbonation. Hmm. So I think this one is going to be very personal preference on the flavor profile. If you're okay with stevia and you know what stevia tastes like, then just consider, it's totally sweetened with stevia. So it's just going to have part of that stevia flavor to it. Other than that, I wouldn't say that it really tastes like lemonade. It does have some sourness, but it doesn't strongly remind me of lemonade. Yeah. I think it's fine, but I do think this will be a personal preference thing. The ingredients seem decent. It's very simple. It's just the carbonated water, citric acid, natural flavors, and then the yerba mate and white tea, stevia, a little bit of sea salt. I don't know why they bothered to put salt in here, but it is what it is. Yeah. So that's the Yerbae plant-based energy in classic lemonade. 160 milligrams caffeine, That's a pretty sizable amount, but not overboard. So I'd say that's reasonable. Overall, I would probably consider drinking it again, but the flavor and just the whole concept of it isn't something that I'm like amazingly hyped for, but I think it's okay. So that's the Yerbae plant-based energy and classic lemonade. Yeah. Anyways, fun little review of these two drinks. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Oh, I'm fully carbonated. Oh, how's it going? Yeah. Anyways, gonna sign out of Amazon and my YouTube channel. See ya. Then I'm going to do an edit of these on stream.